I don't know if we live in a simulation. I don't know. What I do know is I'm open to it. And my experience, and I haven't really heard any of this, and it could just be genetics, but listen, I've moved around a lot of my lifetime. I've lived in 3 different states in the last 5 years. And what I've noticed, and really paying attention to what's going on and the people around me, is people look alike. When I go start a job, there's somebody that looks like somebody that I worked with somewhere else. Or they have the same type of a personality. And it's not exact, but I've noticed this a lot. And I've heard that I look very familiar. A lot of people in my life has came up to me and said, "Do I know you? I look very familiar." So, are we just NPCs? Am I just an NPC? It's so weird. Like, if you look at animal characteristics or like dogs and cats, I mean, it's not always the same, and every day is not the same day. But it's very similar. Like, the dogs kind of, if you have an animal, notice like they kind of do the same thing. Like they are programmed. And it just makes me wonder if I'm programmed. If I'm a program. I don't know. Look, this could be a simulation from God, Jesus. It could be a form of a simulation. It could, you know what I mean? But it's just really weird how repetitive things are. And how boring everything is. I know my life is boring. I don't like drama, and I don't have a lot of people in my life. I keep it secluded. I try to keep myself isolated as much as possible. But so my life is pretty dull and boring. But if it wasn't, I think that things would go extremely wrong for me. I don't know. Anyway, it's like, it's weird how we have to sleep and how we have our bodily functions and how animalistic we really are. And I know maybe I'm an NPC that's woken up. I don't know. Because I used to just, kind of like slide through life, just be asleep. Especially when my kids were younger. I was waking up before they were born. I was more awake, and then I went to sleep. And now I'm more awake. And I could just be an NPC that woke up. Is it? I don't know. Am I a main player? I don't feel like a main player. I don't feel like a main character in this. In my world, man, I hate this thing. I deal with crap, like constant crap. I can't have nothing nice, and I have to accept that. I have to accept that my container that my soul or consciousness or whatever this is in is flawed. And I see other people's containers, and then they don't seem very flawed unless they're overweight and they do it to themselves. But for me, it just seems. You know what I'm wondering? This is what I'm wondering. You know how people are like, when I die, I want to be able to be like, face God or creator or whatever and be like, man, I fulfilled my potential, or I didn't leave anything on the table when it comes to effort. But what if you did fulfill your potential? What if you exceeded your potential? Like for me it's a struggle. For me, my life is a constant struggle. A lot of it was from things I did in the past, 100%, and that's why I take responsibility. But just like things is like a continued struggle, just little annoying things that just gnaw at me. It's like, it's almost like it's nothing drastic, like my kids are alive and they're doing well. They don't have any bad things, but it's just like it's like a death by 1,000 cuts type of scenario for me. Or it's just like, man, why can't things just work right? Why do I gotta keep doing the same thing over and over when I know I did it right the first time? But it messed up, like weird, like I don't know. And it's like, did I already reach my potential? Was I supposed to be like a drug addict? Like that was my purpose, and I've exceeded it, and that's why things are so hard for me. And like I don't do drugs, I don't smoke weed, I rarely drink. I'm always home. I'm not the perfect parent at all, but I try to provide the best situation I can for my kids with the circumstances that we have. I'm a single parent, so it's obviously not a good scenario for them to be in. But my kids are older now, I got an 18-year-old and an almost 17-year-old coming up. So my kids are just about raised. Maybe not modern days expectations, but back in the day, 18, you were raised. So I'm just like, was I supposed to be like a complete piece of junk? For me, what I noticed is I suffer consequences immediately. Like if I do something bad, like if I was to steal or like just do something dumb, like put graffiti or like slacking off at work, right? Slacking, this is the dumbest thing. I always get caught, right? I might be talking to someone longer than I should, which I normally don't, right? And the boss catches me every time. It's like every time for me. For me in my life, it's just like there's no enjoying it anymore. There's nothing exciting. There's nothing to look forward to. I'm old. And it's just tougher and tougher every single day. I'm not suicidal at all. I don't want to. I would never take myself out because I got too many people that would let down and care about me. I wouldn't do that. But for me, I'm done, man. I'm tired of being on this fucking planet. Like seriously, I'm just done. I don't ever want to come here again. Like if there's reincarnation, I don't ever want to come here. I hate this place because it's so hard on me. I can't enjoy it. I hear people are like, "Oh, enjoy every breath you take." Man, I don't. And you can say I'm privileged. You can definitely say I'm privileged because, I work hard and, I got a house, right? I'm an independent person, and I got a job, and I got food in my belly, and I got extra money, so I don't have to worry about when I go to the store not have enough money for food and things like that. So people can say like possession wise, I'm kind of privileged, even though it seems like everybody else, when I look at everybody else, wherever I go, it seems like they just have better than me. Even though I work my butt off, but I know I'm complaining a lot. But it's just curious to me. Like, did I already exceed what I was supposed to be here potentially wise? And that's why everything's so hard for me. And I can't just get, some time where I don't have to have any stress or worry and good things are just happening. I don't have any of that time. And it's like the more that I try to better myself, the more like Christ-like I become when it comes to getting rid of vices. I'll never be perfect because I'll never be perfect. It just seems like it's getting harder and harder and harder. And it just doesn't seem right. It would seem like the creator would be like, and I'm not atheist at all. There's definitely a creator. The creator would be like, dude, here's a break, man. Here's a bone. You've been through enough. You learn enough lessons. There's plenty of other people I can pick on. I almost feel like I'm being picked on, honestly, by the creator. And it's like, dude, what more do I got to do? What more do I got to go through? And like I said, everybody has bad in their own way. And my life for somebody else might be a breeze. It might be a damn breeze, but for me, for my personality and what I've been through, it's just like I've had mental torture my entire life, and I'm just like done with it. And honestly, like I hate to be like this, but I just can't wait till this is over, man. I know that sounds bad. I know it sounds bad. And if there's anybody that's related to me or whatever sees this, dude, I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to hurt myself. But I'm just like, I'm completely bored. I'm completely bored with this life. And I'm just tired of like struggling. I feel like a slave. I'm tired of being a slave. It's like, what is the point of my existence? Just to be a slave and consume? Other people might like to be, work and do boring, monotonous work, but I don't. And I'm just like over it, honestly. I'm tired of worrying about finances. I'm tired of like worrying about cleaning. I'm tired of worrying about, that's why I say, if I had the chance at this moment, I'm done with this body, man, because it's just all I deal with is torture. Like I'm just tired of it. I'm getting older. It's starting to break down, and I don't enjoy myself. I'm tired of my urges. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of trying to fight it. And I'm excited for things. I'm excited for like technology to get better. I want to see the technology get better. But I'm just like so bored. I'm so bored, man. I feel like I'm like 5 or 10 years ahead of everybody, honestly. And I'm so bored. And technology isn't where I want it to be right now. It's cool. It's developing. It's definitely developed in my lifetime. But I just want it to be so much farther and advanced. And our society just seems like stagnant, and it's declining. It's been declining, honestly. But shouldn't we like be progressing? Shouldn't we be moving forward? And it's like, why are we moving backward? It's funny is because at this point in my life, I'm reverting to being an introvert again. I was an introvert when I was younger, and in my 20s and stuff like that, and in my 30s, I try to be like an extrovert. I just don't want to. I'm almost to the point where it's like, I don't care about becoming the best version of myself anymore. Like, I still want to. I just don't. I just like, for me, it's just like in this society, how people's standards are so high. And people aren't amazed by anything anymore. So it's just like, even if you put yourself, like, even if like you're the perfect person or man or whoever you are, it's never good enough. And it's like, oh, you should do stuff for yourself. Well, I mean, if you're the last person on Earth, are you still gonna be like pushing for, like, what would you do if you're the last person on Earth? You know what I mean? Like, what would you do? How would you live? Would you realize I'm the last person on Earth? I'm gonna keep working out? Or are you just gonna like, man, this is it. I'm the last one here. I'm just gonna try to enjoy this as much as possible. I mean, hypothetically, if you could still get like luxuries and stuff like that, you know what I mean? For like 20 years. Like the robots, just hypothetically. They still produce things for you, but you're the last human. I mean, how would you live? Would you still be working out? Would you still be trying to move forward? Like, what does it matter? Because there's so much of a lack of validation in our society, and nobody cares. In the real world, from what I see, and where we're going is a more cold world. I'll be honest. When I was younger, I dabbled in some different type of experimental things when it comes to drugs, some psychedelics and stuff like that. And one of these trips I did, I'll go ahead and say it. Like, I didn't want anyone to know, but I don't really care. I did LSD when I was younger, and I had bad trips. One of these trips I had was, I kind of seen the future, and it was cold. I remember seeing this huge building, kind of like a projects, like in the inner city, like it kind of looked like that, and it was like gloomy out. And I just had the feeling like everyone was by themselves. Nobody was living together. There was like no families, and everyone was like in their own little pods. And I know that's where they want us to go, the World Economic Forum, but it kind of seemed like that was like a premonition or something. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't feel a lot of joy. Maybe people can relate with me, but I really don't feel a lot of joy nowadays. I really don't. It's very rare. For me anyway. Maybe other people, every second of the day is joyful for them. But for me, it's really not. And to be honest, I think that a lot of people probably relate to me. That there's more struggle, there's more pain than there is actual joy. And for me, it's just not even worth it. You know, that's why I'm just like, why would you want to bring kids into this world? You know, I did. And it is what it is, but it's just like, it was a different time. And now we're more, or we have more knowledge nowadays. It's just like, if things are getting worse, if there's less love, if there's less caring, and that's why we're headed, why would you want to bring kids? You know? I think we are becoming more robotic. I think that we are becoming transhuman at some type. Maybe it's our cell phones that are helping us condition us. But I definitely think that there's lack of empathy, there's lack of love nowadays, there's lack of caring. And I can see it in myself. I can feel it on myself. It's really weird. I don't know. I gotta end this. Y'all take it easy.